I am joined by a beautiful, talented, blessed woman. It is Rosemary Akoth, the first Kenyan winner of the Great Kenyan Bake Off. Welcome to the studio, Rosemary.
Oh, thank you so much, Monique. I'm
And
so happy to be here.
I'm happy, and of course, you've made our studio look so good. Look at that beautiful cake. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
You know, watching you on TV is something else, and meeting you in person is another thing. First of all, a thumbs up to the top-notch Kenyan production of this amazing franchise. And of course, for you to come through as a fantastic woman who has shown that whether you're a mother, whether you're a working woman, there's still room for creative art. Welcome to the Spice Drive.
Thank you so much for having me.
And let's talk about your journey on the Great Kenyan Bake Off. You know, some people don't believe reality TV is actually reality TV, you know, like you actually just came across the ad and you go and try out just like everybody else. And then now here you are, fast forward. It has been a brilliant end for 2019 for you. Let's talk about how it all began.
I heard about the Great Kenyan Bake Off through my big sister, Anne.
Yeah.
So she saw it on social media and forwarded the link to me to apply. And I was like, okay, I'm on maternity leave.
Yes.
With just taking care of the baby. So, you know, something to do to keep me busy.
Yeah.
Plus, I love to bake.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, everyone tells me, you know, my friends, family, colleagues, how much they love my cakes. But, you know, I hadn't, you know, gotten like professional opinion. So
Yes.
I was just, you know, trying out to
Yes.
see how it will go. And, you know, I applied and went through a rigorous interview process and eventually got in. And, you know, here we are today. So,
Wow. Congratulations again on the win.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You know, what I love about you already is you're a fantastic interview guest. You know, when you speak, it's more than just being in the kitchen and baking, and there's more to your creative art. Today, the KCSE results were out, and there's a lot of people who have put talent and gifts on the back burner. And you're one of those people who've come to show that, you know what, if you're one of those people thinking your talents, your gifts, the thing that you love doing, the way you're describing it, I just love to bake. I didn't really think. Those are the things you actually need to tap into. Your
Yes.
gift is your wealth. So
Yes.
you go through the rigorous process, you impress the judges, and step by step you keep proceeding to the next round.
Yeah.
Were you intimidated by the other bakers on the Great Bake Off?
Definitely. You know, for the first time, I met a group of people who we were, you know, like kindred souls. You
Yes.
know, we were like a bunch of cake nerds.
Yes.
So the first time we met and, you know, we got into cake speak and we sort of, you know, just bonded immediately.
Yes.
And became friends. So I got really intimidated, especially by Adeline.
Yes.
Who, you know, she knows all these baking terms and the
Yes.
French terms. And, you know, like Adeline is like an encyclopedia of, you know,
Yes.
baking terms.
Yes.
So she intimidated me a lot.
Yes.
Samira as well, you know.
Yeah.
You know, she's this, you know, confident cooks who
Yes.
have had, you know, a wealth of experience.
Yes.
They're not the kind who measure out things, you know, they just whip up something.
Yes,
and
just like our
it's
mothers
fantastic,
do.
you know, just like
you know,
our
they
mothers
use
do.
they use their eyes and they're like, no,
Yes.
that's enough salt. That's enough of the vanilla
Yes,
essence.
yes. You ask her how long do you think your cake will bake? It's like, you know, I'll just watch it and see.
Wow.
You know, so, and basically all of them were like amazing
Yes.
cooks. Yeah. So meeting them, I really felt like these are my kindred spirits. And
Yes.
we really got to get along and form really strong bonds, and everyone there was just amazing.
You know what I love? There was so many personalities in there, and
Yes.
there was a lot when it came to how different you are. It came to light, you know, as the show went on.
Yeah.
And you know, what do you think for you made people drawn to you? What do you think made you win? If you were to sit on the other side of the table as a judge, what do you think it is about Rosemary Akoth?
Well, from the feedback I've gotten from a number of people,
Yes.
I think what really helped me was I was able to be, you know, calm through the whole process.
Yes.
I've got this calm spirit from my mom.
That's for sure.
She tends not to be fazed by anything.
Yeah.
So I think that calmness really helped.
Yes.
And also the fact that, baking is my go-to thing.
Yes.
Where, some guys get to decompress with either exercising or doing all kinds of things. But me, when I get to bake, I get into my zone,
Love it.
And decorating and the creative process tends to get me align my thoughts.
Yes.
And so baking is not just, a passion for me. It's
Therapeutic.
a way of, it's therapeutic. It's my survival, mode, my go-to place, yes.
Wow. In case you missed it, I just want you to watch on spicefm.co.ke and also listen a little bit about Rosie's journey.
Rosie may be calm, but underneath lies a raging storm of skill and creativity.
Miss Rosie.
Having won Star Baker 3 times, she has shone through the weeks, her nurturing demeanor winning the hearts of fellow bakers.
I just dreamed about being here. Now that it's a reality, I'm feeling so excited, a little bit nervous at the same time, but, mostly...
Wow, mostly excited. I love to watch you speak. Everything you described about yourself. And I think in the kitchen or whatever it is you're doing generally in life, you have to be self-aware. Even before the thumbs up, even before you actually get the win. You carried yourself like a winner throughout. I think a lot of people enjoyed watching you. Do you think that... the industry itself, culinary art, is taken seriously on this continent, this part of the world, in Kenya? There's a lot of women who've been watching you and your journey, and you're talking about just doing it for the love of it, the passion. There's women who think, you know what, I would love to start up my little pastry shop. I just want to do this because I love it. I want to get out of employment. I want to do my own thing. What would you say to someone who's watching you right now and thinking, it would never be me?
I think the first step is, begin small.
Yes.
And, take it from there, baby steps.
Yeah.
And if it's your passion, I think that having passion in what you do tends to give you the fuel that you need.
Yes.
So, just give yourself a chance. It doesn't hurt to try,
Yes.
You can fall and make mistakes.
Yes.
Like in baking, maybe try out different recipes and, learn from the mistakes that you make.
Yeah.
And, just enjoy the process and take it a step at a time. However, I believe life is short. And for me, failure would be waking up and doing something that you don't love every day.
Yeah.
So if you are if you're blessed enough to have an opportunity to, live it to the best of your ability and indulge in your passion, whatever it is, it doesn't hurt. What's the worst that can happen?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I love everything you're saying. Everything you're saying and everything you've been doing. We're going to be getting into more of this conversation right here on the Spice Drive. Yes, I am joined by Rosemary Akoth, the first Kenyan winner of this amazing show, The Great Kenyan Bake Off. It was airing on KTN every single Monday Monday evening at 8 p.m. And of course, if you know what a star baker is, well, she's right here in the studio with me. It is the only way to get home. Get on the hashtag Spice Drive. I've also got the treadmill topic of the day. And today we're asking you a very interesting question. Should grandparents be paid for babysitting? Rosemary, I know you come from a very close-knit family.
Yes,
you mentioned
I do.
your sister. And
Yes.
You're a mother.
Yes, I
And
am a
over the
mother of
holidays.
3.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
3.
yes.
Beautiful. Your other win this year. Congratulations on the new baby, by the way.
Yes, thank you, Roman. He's a laughing machine.
Wow.
He's always a happy baby.
I love that.
Yeah, he just lights up my day.
Let me tell you, motherhood is just so satisfying when you see how they grow and knowing the influences around them.
Yeah.
And as you know, grandparents are a major, major role. And sometimes we subconsciously think that every single grandparent is going to be there for you.
Yeah.
And we sometimes are guilty of just, here, take the babies over the holidays. This is happening.
Yes.
So today we're asking, should grandparents be paid, something small for babysitting? They get to give a hand from time to time. How's your relationship with your parents, and how's their relationship with your kids?
My parents, I have a really close relationship with my mom. My
Yes.
dad passed away a few years back.
Bless you.
And she's actually really close to my kids. She loves my kids.
Yeah.
I'm also, I have a very close relationship with my parents-in-law as well.
Yes.
And, they love having the kids around.
Yes.
However, from interacting with my own kids, I know
Yes.
what a handful they are.
I know, right?
And knowing that our grandparents are in their older ages,
Yeah.
they don't have that much energy to run around after them. So
Yes.
I definitely feel that, if you're going to ship your kids off to the grandparents, there are a few things you have to do to make them stay comfortable for
Absolutely.
one,
Yeah.
Yeah, like, send a helper with them to
Yes.
help the grandparents. Do a bit of shopping, not even a bit, a lot of shopping, because you can't expect them to be the ones,
Exactly.
feeding your kids.
Yes.
So, provide the food and
It'll
take
make
care of
it-
them to make it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And then also school your kids on, some manners so that when they're home, they behave. And
Yes.
they are not fussy over the food that they're given to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not choosy on what they're given to eat, so that whatever their grandparents provide,
Yeah.
they eat it and with a lot of gratefulness in their heart. Yeah.
So generally, kids are a handful for us, and of course the grandparents. You can imagine. So of course, the question today is straight and simple: should grandparents be paid for babysitting? Chime in on this one. It's all about the holidays on the record rumble as well. We've got 2 records to battle it out. I can't wait to see what my guest Rosemary is going to go for. That's coming up in the next hour. As she talked about it earlier, she said, you know what? Indulge in your passion. And if it doesn't work, try again and try again and try again. This is the Spice Drive. So check out how beautiful the studio looks. It truly is all about the holidays. And I'm joined by Rosemary Akoth, the very first Kenyan winner of the Great Kenyan Bake Off competition. It was airing on KTN every single Monday at 8 p.m. And she's here with me. Beautiful. And you came with your filter, you came with your cake, and it is gorgeous. Everything is gorgeous. Off air, we were talking about the things that you would bake.
Yes.
Take us through it. Being a pastry chef
Yes.
is tasking. I mean, mentally, I think it's different from other chefs.
Yes.
Could you tell us about that?
Baking is a science.
Yeah.
And when, baking, I also believe is instinctive.
Yes.
And it's normally about finding a balance between the ratio between the fat, the flour, the sugar, the raising agent,
Yes.
the liquid, so that you're able to get that perfect, if it's a cake, a nice moist cake with really nice flavor.
Yes.
And also I believe baking also requires really good quality ingredients.
Yes.
I know there are a lot of cakes made out there, but if you've tried a really, really good cake
Yes.
that is baked with butter and, like this cake, if you allow me to speak about this cake,
Yes.
inside it is a blueberry cake.
Yes.
And the blueberry cake is made to pop with a touch of sour cream. Sour cream, I feel it just leaves an umami taste in your
Yes.
mouth that nothing else can be able to, bring
Yeah.
about. And it's made with butter, sugar, flour. And then the layering between the cake are reduced blueberries and made a blueberry jam.
Yum.
And then there is a chocolate ganache. White chocolate ganache that I've
Nice.
also infused in the blueberry jam inside it.
Yes.
And the sponge is just, soaked up with fresh blueberries and then topped with buttercream and dark chocolate ganache, and then berries in season. Right now berries are in season.
Yes.
So, they're really sweet and at their epitome. So here we have blackberries, blueberries, strawberries and raspberries, dotting the cake with white chocolate ganache and dark chocolate ganache, dripping on the sides
It's
of the cake.
gorgeous. You said the
Yeah.
blueberry, a lot of blueberry this, blueberry that, and lots of love. You forgot to mention
Yes,
the love.
yes, made lots of love, This is made with lots and lots of love.
When
Yeah.
you speak about your pastries, you speak about it passionately, like you love what you do, and that's evident. How's your relationship with the other contestants now after the show's done?
Actually, we have a wonderful relationship. We we text each other daily. We actually have a WhatsApp group.
I love that.
Where we keep in touch.
Yeah.
You know, everyone has a different personality.
Yes.
You know, but we sort of, like just get along.
Yeah.
Jamil is like, the clown of the group, always posting funny things on the inside there.
Yeah.
You know, and Philip and Nobella, they're like Nobella's beauty and brains.
Yes.
She's doing actuarial science.
Nice.
The same with Philip.
Yeah.
And then we have Alice, who is, like the mom who likes to have everything in place
Mama
and
Goose.
in order. She's a mama goose. Yeah, and then we have Philip, who is an amazing, amazing chef.
Yeah.
David, who is actually, studying culinary arts.
Yes.
He's an amazing chef.
Yeah.
And he's actually the youngest of the group. He recently turned 19.
Wow, that's young.
Yeah, he's pretty young. And then there's Faith. Faith is just, an amazing woman. She's such a strong woman. She's teaching baking now from, this whole
experience.
Yeah, and just an amazing, this Charity. Charity is just like, the life of, the group.
Yes.
She's the person who, just always puts a smile on your face.
Yeah.
And there's Lois, who is crazy and loud and fantastic and just, an amazing, it's just a melee of amazing people.
And it was a good blend. You have to agree, the casting was just amazing.
It was
and
genius.
It made good entertainment,
Yes.
but it also means that to think that you guys are friends right now,
Yeah,
that's
we
a
are
good
really
thing.
good friends. We even visit each other.
Yeah.
Get to bake together, share recipes.
Yes.
And, even help one another when we have projects,
Yes.
baking projects. So we've sort of like formed a family that is like a support group.
Yes.
Yeah, more for baking as well as, for other things in life.
That's brilliant because
Yeah.
everyone brings something to the table.
Yes.
It was a brilliant show, and we're going to be talking about the next season.
Yes.
Okay. A lot of people are probably curious if it's definitely going to make a comeback.
Mm-hmm.
You were Star Baker 3 times.
Actually, 4 times.
4 times.
Yeah.
Okay.
The 4th one being the win.
The 4th one being the win. 3 times. Did you ever think like, what is going on? Is it a confidence boost to get that approval from professionals? Chef Kiran and having a lot of these, your peers, as you said, there's chefs in there. There's a 19-year-old who's also passionate about baking.
Yeah.
How does that affect you psychologically? Did it give you a confidence boost? Because ultimately you are now the winner. All these wins every single time. What did that do for you?
It's a really big validation.
Yes.
For me, it's a really big validation. And for me, it's also, an answer from God. Because I've been following this passion for a long time. And I've been speaking to God, asking him to, show me if this is the way. So for me, it's an answered prayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I take it very seriously. So this is really big for me, and I believe it's the launch that I need to now follow my dream.
Yeah.
Which would be, other than just baking, also an opportunity to teach other people. These days employment is not guaranteed.
Absolutely.
And there are lots of people out there who just need, skills that can enable them to get by. And I believe if you have, the passion and the interest, you can be able to do this. I have lots of friends, like I have my 2 best friends who, just from seeing me bake are now running successful baking businesses.
Wow.
Yeah. So May and Diana. Yeah. So, I believe that knowledge is not something that should be kept within you.
It should be
so
shared.
it should be shared. Then it has a bigger impact.
Absolutely. And I love that you highlighted being around people that are for you or
Yes.
also share the same passions.
Yes.
Because whenever maybe you would talk about days like these,
Yeah.
it would sound like a dream to others or actually unachievable.
Yes.
But to people who actually see the bigger picture or they saw something in you that you hadn't probably seen in yourself,
Yes.
to them it's, you know what, you can do it, Rosie. When you're not Rosemary, you're Rosie. I'm sure some of your close friends call you that. I love whenever they refer you as Rosie. When you're not baking and up and about, you are a mother.
Yes.
You've got 3 kids.
Yes.
How is the home setting? You love to bake at home a lot.
Yes.
Sundays.
Actually, sometimes every day.
Every day.
Yes,
It would be
every
nice
day.
to be in your house.
Yeah, even my neighbors know, like there's
Freshly
always cake
baked.
in Rosie's house. Like my estate members complain about, the smell of baking.
You're killing us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like, you're killing us. Like, is there cake today? So,
Yeah.
and the kids love it. And, typically in my house, with 3 kids around, it's chaos. But, my husband is the grounded one who
Yes.
sort of,
Does he bake? Is he?
No.
Can he bake at all?
No, he doesn't. Well, he actually expressed interest now.
Yes.
That he'd like to learn to bake and decorate. So I'm like, oh, that would be really good because then I'd have more help.
Yes. And it's also romantic. You
Yes.
can imagine how this entire experience has changed, the setting in the home.
Yeah.
He could be right there. You tell him, honey, you just do the whipping.
Yeah.
I will get the fresh strawberries and you just wait right there. We're going to do this together. I think it's fantastic for your relationship as well.
Yeah.
There's things we don't associate our African men to doing.
Yes.
So I think that's a thumbs up for him. I mean, he
Yeah.
gets a proper thumbs up.
Yeah,
for-
and definitely. And my daughters are also interested in baking. So, like today when I was doing this, they helped me, like put the fruit around. And I'm trying to encourage this because over and above, education, if they have an additional skill that they can be able to depend on, later on in life.
Yes.
That will be an amazing thing. So I'm glad that they are learning as
Yes.
they're growing up, watching me do this. See how much I'm hustling and working hard for them.
Absolutely.
And, I'm just encouraging their interest and hopefully, they'll make something out of it.
Yeah.
And even be bigger than I am with regards to baking.
Yes.
Yeah, so in my house, there's always cake.
I
There's
love
always
that.
baked goods.
Everyone is hearing that and they're just thinking, address, please.
Yeah, please come visit.
I'm
Yes.
sure the journey hasn't been 100% rosy.
No, it
throughout, the process being on the Great Kenyan Bake Off.
Yes.
There must have been challenges. There must have been days on the show or even, when you unwind and you look
Yeah.
back and you think, you know what? What am I doing? I'm chasing a cloud.
Yeah.
I might as well just forget about this. What would you which day would you describe as your hardest? What was your biggest challenge?
Okay, my biggest challenge was actually, the pie week.
Pie week.
I'm not so much of a pie baker.
Yes.
Actually, this baking show sort of, like got me out of my comfort zone.
Yes.
I was more into baking cakes, cookies.
Yeah.
But now in the Bake Off, you have to build things from cookies, build things from bread. So the quiche, we had an episode where we had to make quiche. So I tasted quiche before, but
Yes.
it being an egg-based.
What's quiche?
A quiche is a pie
Yes.
that is egg-based. So
Yes.
it's got like a pie crust,
Yes.
but the filling is mainly a custard.
Yes.
An egg custard. So I hadn't made it before.
Yes.
And knowing how eggs cook so fast. So
Yes.
I underestimated the time it will take. I thought it would take like 15 minutes to cook, yet it required 45 minutes to
Yes.
cook. Yeah, so I served the judges raw egg
Wow.
and I was bottom like twice out of doing that. Yeah.
So with all the wins, it doesn't mean that you didn't have your hard days.
No, I had really bad days where I was number last, but I was like, there's another chance
it
coming.
moving.
Yeah,
We keep
it
trying.
moving, yeah, like there's another signature challenge coming up, and I'm confident because that is my recipe. You know,
Yes.
with the technical challenge, you're all given a same recipe,
Yes.
same ingredients, but they leave out some items like the temperature to bake the cake.
That's
or
on
the-
you.
Yeah, or how long it needs to take. So,
Yes.
because they know if they tell you the temperature, you can be able to instinctively,
Yes.
deduce how long it will take to
Yes.
bake. So they'd omit some details, and
Wow. And you have to just figure it out.
you have to instinctively figure
Sounds
it out.
sounds like life, basically. And it's not always right there for you. It's not
Yeah.
always straightforward. So, what is Rosie up to over the holidays? What would you say your plans are? Are you going to be in Nairobi? Are you going to be traveling?
No, I'm going to be in Nairobi.
Yes.
The plan is to spend more time with my family. I've been really busy with work because I'm
Yes.
also employed.
Yes.
And this is my side hustle.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'll be taking, some downtime and spending more time with my kids.
Yeah.
Hopefully bake more. We're planning to do our Christmas tree this weekend.
Nice.
Can you imagine this late?
It's quite late. Mine's
Yeah.
already up. Stuff falls every day, but we get to put it back up, take a couple of photos, put it back up. It falls, we put it back up. But
Yeah.
I think that's the beauty of life.
Yes.
And of course, unplugging and making sure you have
Yeah.
enough time with your kids.
Yes.
What would you say, at least in every household, should be there on the Christmas table as a chef? And of course, now you're making all sorts of things. Your house is going to have cake every day.
Yes.
But what recipe would you share with us for the holidays? What do you think we should do? A good, nice meal with all the kids.
Okay. In terms of something that can even go on the Christmas tree,
Yeah.
I think Christmas cookies.
Yes.
Cookies, they're simple recipe.
Yes.
It's just, like equal amount of fat and sugar. So if it's 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of butter,
Yes.
and then 2 cups of flour and an egg.
Yes.
And then flavor it with whatever you want. Like right now it's Christmassy, so spices like cinnamon,
Yes.
clove, mixed spices, cardamom,
Yes.
Spice it up, decorate, involve the kids in
Yes.
rolling out and cutting out different shapes that you can use, put a small hole to
And put it
attach
up.
a string and, put it up and hang it on your Christmas tree and get to eat it also and have fun. So, that would be a recommendation for me for,
Wow,
something for
that
Christmas.
sounds easy, but
Yes.
coming from a pastry chef and a winner at that, we're gonna try. We're gonna promise not gonna be like Rosie's, but we shall try.
Yeah.
And of course, if you're planning to be in Nairobi, Blankets and Wine is pleased to announce the start of its 11th year of presenting Kenyans with world-class music experiences with a 2-part Kenyan Summer Edition at the Ngong Racecourse in Nairobi. The artists are going to be performing this weekend include international sensation Coffee, Sun El Musician, Fena, Soul Generation, Cash Carrier, Mbithi, Mutoria, and Mixmaster Lenny. And in January, Blankets and Wine will keep the party going by staging yet another big musical extravaganza. Be ready for Grammy-nominated Godlink alongside Kenya's own Blinky Bill, Kabochi, Prisco Joang, Karen, Suraj, and many more. Come along with your blanket, your bottle of wine, probably a couple of cookies, and your smile and your dancing shoes for a party to remember. Tickets are now available on blanketsandwine.com for 3,000 shillings only. You said you love Kenyan music
Yes.
so much.
Yes.
You're a Sauti Soul fan,
Like,
die-hard fan.
I'd go crazy just seeing them.
Parents be paid for babysitting. My guest Rosie says, knowing how hard it is just for you generally just to take care of these little humans, when you ship them off to the grandparents' house or they come over and, they give a helping hand. They don't have to do this, but they try to do this for you. I know over the holidays, a lot of us are going to be doing this. It's a good way to make sure that you get a little bit of ventilation on a budget. So wouldn't it be nice to give them a little something? Nancy on the timeline says, well, maybe not money, but, make sure you get a few things done here and there. My parents particularly would take offense if I gave them cash. Keep chiming in on today's Trendmill topic. And of course, I've got the Record Rumble coming up in a couple of minutes. That's right here on the Spice Drive. I've got 2 Christmas records battling it out. And I'm also joined by my beautiful guest, Rosie, the very first Kenyan winner of the Great Kenyan Bake Off competition. Always a pleasure to have great people in studio.
Thanks for having me.
You are so calm and so sweet and so kind. I don't even know. Guys, I hope you're watching spicefm.co.ke. We've got sugar and spice and everything nice, including cake, right here on the Spice Drive, the only way to get home. And I've got your traffic in a bit, so make sure you keep it right there. That's Ray J with Let It Go from 1997. We get to dig the crates and bring that music that you love. You mentioned loving Kenyan music.
Yes.
You're big on family. I think I know a
Yes.
thing or two about Rosie. We could hang. I think
Yeah,
so.
I think we would be, bosom buddies.
We will, especially now that you're talking about cake every now and then. My daughters would love you. Let's talk about some of the guys that became your buddies on the show.
Yes.
The hosts
Yes,
and the
host.
judges.
Yes. I'd like to shout out to June Gashui.
Shout out to June.
Oh, June is so hilarious and, just a wonderful spirit.
She really is.
Yes, and Nick.
Yes.
Nick is, an amazing guy.
Yeah.
I'd like to shout out to Myra.
Yes.
Myra is just a beautiful, elegant,
She's a force.
she is a force to wake up.
Yeah.
I really look up to her, know. She is, an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And I'd really like to be like her. I'd also like to shout out to Judge Kiran.
Yes.
Your feedback really meant a lot to me and helped me grow.
Yeah.
And become who I am today.
Yeah.
And shout out to my Baker family.
Yes.
A special shout out to my husband, Robert Asewe, the art lawyer.
Wow.
I love you, babe. Thanks so much for holding it down for us and for the support you gave me. Without you, I wouldn't have done this. Thank you so much to my children, Ruby, Robin, and Roman. I love you guys. I also want to shout out to my colleagues at work, Nestle.
Yes.
I love you guys. Thanks for being my guinea pigs and trying out all my funny recipes.
Oh, you need these
supporting
guys.
me. I thank you so much. I also want to shout out to my mother.
Yes.
For instilling the love of cooking and baking in me.
Yes.
And for teaching me to be the person that I am today.
Yeah.
And to shout out to my family, my brother Steve, my sisters Anne, Sophie, and Winnie. And, I just want to thank my church, Mavuno, for, inspiring me to, be a fearless influencer of society.
Yes.
And for also allowing me to, bring my cake to church.
I love that. Everyone around you has
Yes.
sampled that rosy goodness. I love it.
Yeah.
You're surrounded by a lot of amazing people, and
Yes, I
you
am.
seem to keep your friends. You're one of those people who, based on what I hear, I mean, you're a loving, kind woman. You mentioned earlier about passing this on and inspiring others. What plans do you have after this win? It's a huge title.
Yes.
You're a celebrity. And the expectations are high. What do you have in store with this win? What would you want to do to inspire others?
Okay, for now, I am working on building my brand, Dem Keki.
Nice.
Yes, Yule Dem wa Keki, meaning Yule Dem
Yeah.
wa Keki, yeah? Yeah, Dem Keki on Instagram.
Yes.
Please go and like it.
Dem Keki.
Dem
I'm on
as
there
in
right now.
Damekeki.
Dem
Yule Dem wa
Keki.
Islando wa Keki.
Ule Dem wa Keki.
Yes.
All right. I'm going there.
Yeah, so I'm working on building that brand to be able to bring Dem Keki's creations to your household.
Yes.
In your house, in your kitchens, in your celebrations. And other than that, I'd also love to teach and share my baking experience with other people.
Yes.
And, I may not be, a person who's professionally trained in baking, but I feel I have a lot to share.
Yes.
And I'd love to do that with everyone out there. So I'll be, reaching out to you guys. And feel free to contact me at Demkeki if you want to learn how to bake. And, other than that, I'm looking forward to going to France.
Yes.
As part of my win and learning a lot from there,
Yeah.
and bringing the information that I've learned and the skills that I've learned and, localizing them and making them available to everyone.
Yes.
So I hope there'll be them cakey, cupcakes and cakes in supermarkets. And, I'm
Nice.
dreaming really big, and I believe the sky is the limit with this.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I told you you were acting and moving around like a winner, so you know it's well deserved. Is there going to be another season of the Great Kenyan Bake Off?
There should be another season. There
Yes.
will be. I believe there will be another season of the Great Kenyan Bake Off.
Nice.
Yeah, the show was amazing. There's no way it's going to end at one season. So I think there is definitely going to be another season.
I like that. And the casting was just brilliant. Everything from the judges to the hosts to the contestants. I mean, it was good TV. When you think reality TV is dead, well, trust me, make sure you keep it right there because there's so much in store, especially on KTN, the home of Fabulous Entertainment. And of course, Rosie, it's such a pleasure to have met you. You are amazing. We're going to cut this cake in a bit.
Yes.
And of course, I've got 2 records on today's Christmas Record Rumble. See, it's all about that Christmas cheer. We've got Wham with Last Christmas going up against Ariana Grande. That's coming up in a bit. But first, I've got your traffic coming up. How's it looking on the route you're on? 1984 is a long time.
Yeah, that's like a year before I was born.
Wow.
Yeah, it brings back a lot of memories.
Memories.
Yeah.
I'm sure you played this a lot.
Yeah, we did. We did.
I'm looking at the music video. You can check it out as well on spicefm.co.ke. And shout out to everyone watching this fabulous, fabulous show. I'm hanging out with Rosie, and I am keen on seeing who takes the crown. I love to see what my guests think. Well, 1984 was a good year.
Yes.
And, George Michael passed away, and we remember him for being part of this group. Ariana Grande, 2013, decided to do her version.
Yeah.
I don't know which one you're going to love, so I'm going to play it for you, and then you're going to tell me. In the meantime, cast your vote on Twitter. That's SpiceFMKE. It is the Christmas Record Rumble. I've got your feedback on the timeline. I'm going to be reading it out in a bit. But first things first, thank you so much, Rosie, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
It's like I don't want this interview to end. It's cake time. And of course, wherever it is that you are tuned in from, make sure you catch the recap of this interview on your social media platforms. That's SpiceFMKE on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Shout out to everyone listening.